All right, man, just have a couple 3-point shooting things that I saw and then a few pick and roll tips for you. So right now you kind of have two different shots in a way. And so you're off the catch. The ball sometimes gets over on that left side of your body, as you'll see here in these next couple clips. And that's what causes you to miss directionally, either left, right, or short. And so these first two is just where off the catch, when you get that ball over to the right side of your body, or at least right-ish side, you then tend to shoot the ball straight and then with good power and arc. As you can see, that ball leaves the screen there, which means it has good arc, and then it's in. Here, let's do the same thing. Pass comes from the left, ball gets mostly in the middle of the body, right side, up, back rim, and in. Then here on these off-the-catch shots where you get just into a little bit of trouble is where that ball swings over to your left side off the gather. You can see it's kind of in front of your left thigh there. And then this will cause you either to miss short, like that one, or directionally. Here, pass comes from the right, but then ball swings over almost like a chopping motion to your left side, and that causes you to miss a little bit right. And then here's just a couple more that kind of demonstrate this on these off the catches, and that's what's, I think, just hanging you up a little bit. Pass comes over, but then that ball is just a little bit, as you can kind of see there, coming on that left side to right, and then that swooping motion across causes a right miss. A couple more here. Left side, short miss. And these last two here are just really good angles to be able to see that kind of sweeping motion. And this one caused you to leak power there. And then when we swoop it, the ball just tends to get a little far away from our body. And then depending on where we push from, that's what causes it to miss directionally as well. Now, the reason I say you have two different types of shots is because your live dribble threes, you do a really good job of keeping that ball on the right side of your body throughout your shooting motion, which we know limits then your directional misses and your short misses. Now, somewhat of that is due to the fact that a lot of your ball screens will send you to the right side, which just makes it easier to keep it over there. But nonetheless, do a really good job, and that's what's helping make you a 40% three-point shooter this year. Just a couple here. Ball goes between legs, gather on the right side, push up, great arc, and in. And here's one where you go left off of a pick and roll. Ball starts a little bit on that left side again, but gets over to the right side just enough. If you watch kind of my other videos, I say it doesn't have to be perfect for it to go in, just has to be good enough. There, it's a bucket. Now, just a couple pick and roll tips that I've seen as I was looking through your film is that sometimes what happens is you'll get sped up in these ball screen situations, and that'll cause you to be off balance when going into a shot. Here, you kind of start fast off that first screen by Mason, and then when Zach comes over to set his, still going fast, a little out of control, and that causes a right miss. Here in this Michigan one, big drops. Your guys get stuck on Zach there, but then due to the speed that you come off this ball screen, and it's good to come off a ball screen with speed, it's just knowing when to slow down. There, kind of start staying fast, and then you can see shoulders drift back, follow through, drifts right, little off balance, and there's a right miss. Now watch as Chris Paul doesn't get the first screen. He kind of almost sets up Karis LeVert here, and then twists, comes off. Kevin Love's in drop, and Chris Paul can just go right into that three on balance and in. Something else I just noticed is that at times you'll start to drive before Zach's able to set that screen and stay in it. Now, at the NBA level and higher levels of basketball, with so much switching, you'll see a lot of the pro players, they'll kind of prematurely go before that screen gets set, and oftentimes guys won't even set that screen. But for right now at the college level, you want to wait for Zach to set it, because here you can see how by leaving early, the defender's able to squeeze by that screen and then give a hard contest onto that shot. Watch how Chris Paul in this situation waits for Biyombo to set that screen. He comes off that angle tight, defender gets stuck, and then it's just an on-balance three. Adding kind of a higher level skill here, which is Chris Paul does an amazing job at ball manipulation. So you can see he knows that screen's coming to his left side, but he sells with that ball fake that he might reject it, which causes, I think that's Rozier to jump, swings off. Now, you probably won't have this much space at the college level, but you can just see how much separation it creates. steps back, Plumlee's playing the drive, 3. Putting a couple other things together here. So wait for that screen here. You come off a little bit prematurely. And then do you see how Zach, if you look at his right, left leg, splits the arc in terms of where he's setting the screen? That creates just a tougher angle, but then also it makes it easier to defend because of how little space the defense has to cover. And then because you left that screen early, defender's able to squeeze by, contests, causes you to not be able to take that shot. Or if you wait a little bit longer with how deep the big is and drop, you might be able to get that elbow jumper. And here, just same thing. You can see Zach's legs split the arc there, so it's kind of a low screen. And then because the big's up a little bit, and then your angle in terms of how you have to use that screen is as lateral, just a little bit of a rush shot then. You can see kind of where your balance is at the end there. Kind of a little bit of a twist, makes this for a tougher shot. So here, this does happen, and this is where as a point guard, and you'll get it as you gain experience, is watch how high this screen is. Now you have a ton more room to play with. Defense doesn't know what to do, and you can drive. Here's another one, high up. Now, still leave a little bit early, I think, from this. Defender squeezes by, but then with all the space, we're able to then snake it, get downhill, and get the shot off. Then putting it all together here. Wait for the screen, high pick and roll, ton of space to play with the big lumber and big in front of you, elbow jumper, and it's in. A couple more, and this is just revisiting a couple of the threes you hit earlier. Look how high that screen's set. Tons of room, 3. Last one, high screen, and it's in. So just something to think as the point guard, you got to be the floor general there, and that's just a higher level concept there, but you'll get it. It's just if you see that screen's being set too low, call for it higher, pull it back out, and then play out of there.